So today's show is about how with a few simple ingredients you should be able to very closely replicate the taste and flavor of a particular restaurant's style of Louisiana rub for their chicken wings. And we'll see you in a bit. Today's video is all about chicken wings. I happen to love chicken wings. They're really good, great for parties. A lot of my parties I go to, people request that I bring my wings, but these were a special request. Somebody asked me if I could replicate the flavor of a particular restaurant's style of Louisiana dry rub. So I took on the challenge and I started to play with ingredients until I've gotten the profile of the flavors pretty close. So to make this video a lot shorter, I have taken chicken wings, I marinated them overnight in a mixture of a quart of buttermilk and a half a bottle of Frank's Red Hot sauce. I just like what that does to the texture and the taste of a chicken wing. So it imparts a little bit of flavor, plus it makes it a lot juicier. So that being done overnight, the chicken wings are here, they're ready. I've got some oil in the back here. I happen to particularly like peanut oil, so there's 350-degree peanut oil here, and it's been cooking away. I'm going to get the wings in a minute, but first we're going to get to the rub. So this particular dry rub, when I went to the restaurant, the wings, in my opinion, were a bit salty. So my recipe kind of tames that salt down a little bit. But nonetheless, the profile as far as the flavors is right there. And it's actually relatively very simple. Let me get you in here. Okay, what we're going to do, I just have some measuring spoons here. The first and the predominant ingredient in this rub is granulated garlic. So depending on how much of this rub you're going to make, of course will depend on how many wings you're doing and all that, will depend on how much you're going to use. But start off with a base of 1 tablespoon of granulated garlic, an equal tablespoon of chicken base. So this is what they use to make chicken bouillon and chicken soup, and it's got all different spices in it. So I'm going to use a tablespoon of that. Mrs. Dash is a salt-free seasoning. This is the garlic and herb style. 1/2 tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning. Old Bay gives a nice color and a nice taste to this. You're going to want to put 1 teaspoon, depending on how hot you like your wings, of cayenne pepper. The next thing you want to put in is 1/2 teaspoon of oregano and a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. That's it. That's the basis of this. If you want, now this is totally up to you, individual taste, you can get a store-bought Cajun seasoning mix, but as you can, you'll see, this is way darker than this mix turns out to, and it has a whole different flavor. The only thing I like in this is there's a mix of different hot peppers, which adds a second element of heat to the whole concoction here. So I'm going to take a 1/2 teaspoon of that and stick that in there. And then after that, it's all just about technique. So we're going to mix this all together. Clean up this area a little bit. I'm just going to grab a fork and I'm going to mix this all together. So on the right is the store-bought Cajun seasoning mix, and on the left is our homemade Louisiana rub for these chicken wings. The next part took a lot of different trial and error, so let me get you to wings that have been soaking overnight in the buttermilk and the hot sauce to make them tender and juicy and delicious have been drained in a colander here so they're not as wet. I'm going to take them and put them over here in the fryer. I'm going to take some of our chicken wings, bring them over to the hot oil. The hot oil, like I said, is at 350 degrees, and we're going to fry these wings for approximately 11 minutes, 10 to 11 minutes. And in they go. I'm going to set my timer for 11 minutes. Timer set for 11 minutes, and we'll see you back when they're getting ready to be pulled out. I want to get you in here so you can see these wings. What a beautiful color they are. And we don't want them much darker than that. So that's why we're doing these for 10 minutes at just under 350, at or just under 350, because we want them to get to a temperature of about 170. And we're going to check that when we pull them out. But that's the color we're looking for. See that beautiful color on that wing? We don't want them dark or burnt. While we're waiting the next couple of minutes for the wings to come out, also I forgot to mention, if you want, depending on your taste, throw in an additional teaspoon of kosher salt into the mix. Totally optional. Our thermometer is in our wings, and as you can see, it's reading out at about 175, which is just where we want them. We want the carryover heat to bring it up all the way to the 180, which it'll do. And I'm going to let these drain for a minute, and then just for a minute, not too long, because we still need them hot to make the rest of the sauce. It just went off. I've checked the temperature. Carryover heat's going to bring those wings right up to 180 degrees. I'm putting them in a glass bowl so that you can see what this next procedure is. So they're unseasoned other than the soak they had in the buttermilk and hot sauce. And they're in our bowl. And the next thing we're going to do is take, now I tried this with unsalted butter and it didn't taste nearly as good. So we're going to take 2 tablespoons of a good quality salted butter and put that in this bowl. Going to give our seasoning mix a little mix around, and we're going to just start to move these wings around in that butter so they get coated, just like that. Now once they're all nice and coated, I got to show you this. See the way they're coated and glistening? That's what you're looking for. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our seasoning and we're going to liberally sprinkle it on the top. Just like that. Can you overdo it? Yeah, you can, but just mix them around and you'll see and you'll look. Oh, they smell absolutely amazing. And we're just going to flip them around. Let them get coated with all that seasoning. There is your absolutely beautiful homemade Louisiana dry rub, just like what you can get at that popular restaurant. Give it a try. You can play around with it a little bit for your tastes. Now this is my favorite part. So in the last couple of minutes after I coated them and seasoned them and plated them up, the carryover heat has brought these up to 180 degrees, which means they're perfectly cooked. They're going to be nice and juicy and delicious. I'm going to break one open just so you can see that. Look at that. Wow, they're smoking hot. But we're going to give it a try. Oh my goodness. Personally, I like these a little better only because they've got a little less salt. If you want to add more salt, go ahead. You can even brine these in a saltwater solution. And they'd probably be exactly like this. But this is good. I'm going to finish my wings. I hope you learned something. Do come back.